37 delegates who came to Islamabad, and I thank all of them. I also wanted to thank, at the very beginning, special representatives on Afghanistan from the P5. We wanted the message to go beyond the Ummah, and that is why we invited the special representatives on Afghanistan of the P5 countries. They participated, and they also made their statements. The European Union special representative was here on the instructions of Mr. Borrell, who I met in Brussels, and he promised, and I'm grateful to him, to send his special representative, and he participated and contributed. I'm also grateful to the special representative of Germany, Japan, Italy, and many other international organizations, international financial institutions for their very valuable contribution. A special thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Majesty the King, the Crown Prince, and the Foreign Minister, who took a very keen interest and initiated this conference. And I'm grateful to the OIC countries for reposing confidence in Pakistan and allowing Pakistan to host this conference. A special thanks to the Secretary General for his leadership, for his support, and the support of his Secretariat. Without his stewardship, this conference would not be possible. So thank you, sir. You heard, and you were in the opening session, but let me share the closed session with you. The Afghans were heard, and their delegation was invited so that they could share with the rest of the international community here on what the developments were and are post 15th of August. And they did. And they highlighted. And interestingly, when I was listening to the special representative of United States of America, Mr. Tom West, there was an acknowledgement and a certain amount of appreciation. And he also said on the safe passage and in many other areas, the interim setup was cooperating with them. And you also saw that today they also had an engagement. They met and they exchanged views. Now this in itself, ladies and gentlemen, is a major development. Forces that did not see eye to eye, that had serious reservations, are now engaging and talking. So to that extent, I think it was an important opportunity. It was equally important for the Afghan authorities to interact, and they had a number of bilaterals, I'm told, while I was chairing the session. And in those bilaterals, I am sure they were sensitized to the expectations of the international community. I hope, and it's my desire, it was my desire, that this conference, this extraordinary session, will play the role of evolving a better understanding and bridge the trust deficit. It'll take time, but I think uh, uh, at least the ball has started rolling. Number of things that have come out clearly from the deliberations that took place, and I'll share them with you. One, that there is a awareness and a recognition that a humanitarian crisis is looming, and we've got to do something about it. The other thing is that if we do not act and act now and swiftly, then the economic collapse is inevitable. The third message that I think went loud and clear, and the Prime Minister in his statement made it very, very clear, that time is of essence. The other message that came out clearly from many delegates, and that was that we could have a difference of opinion with the authorities, but our focus is the 38 million people of Afghanistan. That's the focus. And the realization amongst many regional players, particularly the immediate neighbors of Afghanistan, that God forbid, if things go wrong, it's not just Afghanistan that will be impacted. Neighbors will be equally impacted. And in my statement, I tried to highlight that it's not just the neighbors that will be impacted. The consequences will be felt beyond the region. And finally, that helping Afghans is a shared responsibility. Pakistan alone, despite the goodwill and the desire, we can't do it. It has to be a shared responsibility. And everybody has to chip in and play their effective role. Now, two documents have been adopted and adopted unanimously. One is the joint resolution on Afghanistan humanitarian situation, and the other is the Islamabad declaration on the Palestinian situation. The entire conference expressed, in my view, unity and expressed support for the people of Afghanistan. There was talk about how to devise a mechanism for disbursement. First, raise resources to help people, and when you do, how do we disperse that? There has to be an institutional mechanism developed and adopted. COVID-19 hasn't vanished, it's still there. And there was a thought and a suggestion that the OIC Secretariat should engage with WHO for securing vaccines and medical supplies for Afghanistan, because the situation is serious over there. Number of other developments that have come out of this conference are, and I'll share them with you. One, the conference has agreed, and it was required, to establish a humanitarian trust fund. Two, they've agreed, and we've all agreed, to launch a food security program for Afghanistan. 3, we collectively feel that we have to unlock financial and banking channels, because the economy cannot function and people cannot be helped without banking services. 4, there has been an agreement to appoint a special envoy of OIC for Afghanistan. Because OIC has so many things to look at, there has to be a focused person just looking at the Afghan situation. And 5, that there was a need felt to forge a partnership between OIC and the UN system. The UN agencies can work and are working in Afghanistan, and many donors are comfortable, giving their resources to them, and they feel that they will be well utilized. Finally, there is a view and there's a call on the international community and the UN Security Council that sanctions should not impede, we should ensure that sanctions should not impede the provision of humanitarian aid. To that extent, there should be clarity. And economic resources that are made available, these sanctions should not come in the way of money being imparted for schools and hospitals. So that was agreed upon. Let me share with you that this is the beginning. Follow-up meetings would be required. One cannot feel complacent that we have done what was required. No. We have made the international community and the Ummah realize the magnitude of the challenge, how big a challenge it is. And now we will have to work further to actually alleviate the sufferings of the people of Afghanistan. I will conclude by thanking everyone. I want to thank the officers of the Foreign Office, the entire team that worked round the clock to make this happen. I am proud of my officers who have done a great job in such a short time. Thank you.
Thank you, Foreign Minister. I will now invite Secretary General Hussein Ibrahim Taha to say a few words. He will be speaking in French and will be translated by his colleague there.
Est-ce que ça marche? Okay.
Just press this one.
Ah. Mesdames, je veux parler en français. Mesdames, messieurs, messieurs les journalistes, vous êtes venus ici nombreux pour nous écouter ce soir. Je pense que l'événement en vaut le coup d'être présent pour écouter, parce que je voudrais en réalité sincèrement adresser mes félicitations à Monsieur le ministre Qureshi pour tout ce qu'il a fait. C'est la réussite de cette journée bien remplie aujourd'hui, c'est bien l'œuvre du ministre des Affaires étrangères de votre pays.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like first of all to thank you for your attendance. I know that the interest that you have demonstrated towards this this event, which is worthy of everybody's attention. I would like first of all to express my profound thanks to His Excellency Mr. Qureshi, without whose efforts we would not have been able to achieve full success for this great event.
Cette conférence d'une journée a donné plein d'espoir, je suis sûr, au-delà des frontières. Les frères afghans qui sont en train de nous suivre, de suivre cette importante conférence, ont dû se dire, enfin, il y a quelque chose qui s'est fait pour nous. Et cette réunion est la preuve qu'elle a abouti à des résultats bien précieux. Donc je voudrais encore une fois de plus renouveler mes remerciements à tous les personnels des différents qui ont assisté au travail pour organiser cette réunion et à tout le monde et à Monsieur le ministre surtout de le remercier une fois de plus pour tout ce qui a été fait.
This conference has been only no more than a one-day conference, but it has been such an important conference and has had an impact beyond its geographical limitations. I would like to, and I'm sure that our Afghani brothers and sisters are following the event and have had a new hope that something at last is being done for their benefit. This is why I would like to once again express my profound thanks to His Excellency the Foreign Minister Mr. Qureshi and to all the organizers of this event that worked 24 hours a day to ensure the success of this event.
C'est un réel succès parce que à la fin de la réunion, on a assisté à plusieurs interventions de la Banque mondiale, enfin des différents groupes qui sont là et qui peuvent nous aider, les Européens, les Américains, les Anglais. Tous ont pris, leurs représentants ont pris la parole pour soutenir cette réunion, pour annoncer qu'ils pourront faire des gestes pour aider nos frères afghans. Et donc, nous pensons que ça a été un grand succès, que le peuple afghan peut garder l'espoir, que nous sommes leurs frères, que l'OCI travaille pour cela. Nous allons nous avons pu nommer un envoyé spécial de l'OCI pour l'Afghanistan. Tout ça va contribuer, je pense, à alléger tous les problèmes, à alléger la peine de nos frères afghans qui traversent en ce moment, avec l'hiver, la situation doit être très difficile pour eux. Nous espérons que les choses vont s'accélérer. Au niveau de l'ECI, nous ferons tout, nous contacterons tout le monde, nous verrons avec la BID, essayer d'encourager les gens à participer dans les fonds pour aider les populations afghanes qui nous attendent devant cette situation assez difficile.
I'm sure that this event has been a real success. This is well demonstrated by the participants that came from all across the world. We have had participants such as the European Union and many other groups, from America, Britain, France. They all came and represented their organizations and took active participation in the event and showed interest and even made pledges for the benefit of our brothers, the Afghani people, who have a reason now to live new hopes for the future. And we, as the OIC, we have done our best. We actually have established or set up a special envoy to represent the OIC in regarding the Afghani affair, and this has given a reason for the Afghani people to feel greater hopes for the future, especially that now we are going towards the winter season, and we will do everything to alleviate their situation.
Tout à l'heure, j'avais cité l'envoyé spécial, mais à côté de cela, il y a d'autres succès aussi qui ont été adoptés lors de cette conférence. C'est la BID qui ouvre un compte la Banque islamique de développement qui se connaît dans l'aide humanitaire, va ouvrir un compte logé chez eux et encourager tous les pays du monde, les organisations, les pays, même les personnalités, d'agir, de déposer dans les fonds qui sont loués pour ça. En outre,
mention of the special envoy of the OIC to Afghanistan for this purpose, but I should not omit to mention that there have been other successes which came in the form of the involvement of the Islamic Development Bank that has opened a special account, a special fund for the benefit of Afghanistan. This will be used for services, for assistance to Afghanistan, and we are thankful to all the countries that will cooperate with the Islamic Development Bank and contribute donations, countries, organizations, and even individuals that have expressed readiness to make pledges and contribute to this special fund.
Il y a aussi la décision qui a été prise, et c'est apparu dans la résolution, que sous l'égide de l'Académie islamique internationale du fiqh, qui est un organe de l'OCI, on va entrer en contact avec les groupes d'uléma, si possible, les uléma haddi, pour voir comment ils peuvent déjà entrer en contact avec nos frères afghans, pour voir si on peut déjà amorcer une discussion avec eux à ce niveau-là. Donc je pense que c'est très important. Il y a les aides, c'est sûr, mais il y a aussi les contacts qui, pour la première fois, ça va être organisé par l'OCI et on espère que ça donnera des effets positifs.
We have also involved one other branch of the OIC, which is the Islamic Fiqh Academy, who have proposed to set up and to reach out to the ulama body for them to seek to bring together the conflicting parties and establish a dialogue between them, such as to help promote action towards peace and stability in the country. This, I believe, is a positive aspect that needs also to be highlighted.
Tout cela a été fait grâce à la décision des autorités de l'Arabie saoudite et du Pakistan, qui nous ont permis de travailler ensemble, d'appeler le monde entier, les intéresser à cette situation grave qui sévit en Afghanistan. Mais je tiens personnellement à remercier l'Arabie saoudite pour cette idée, d'organiser cette conférence, et bien sûr le Pakistan, la République islamique du Pakistan. Je voudrais leur rendre un hommage particulier en tant que secrétaire général de l'OCI pour avoir l'idée d'organiser cette réunion et d'apprêter les contacts et les aides. En ce moment où on parle, il y a plusieurs vols humanitaires qui ont été envoyés par l'Arabie saoudite vers l'Afghanistan. Donc nous pensons qu'il y a des choses concrètes qui ont été faites et le Royaume d'Arabie saoudite et la République islamique du Pakistan doivent être félicités, remerciés en fait par tout le monde.
As a matter of fact, if I have said all this, I should say that the credit goes to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, both of whom thought about convening this event and allowed us to work wholeheartedly such as to achieve the successes that we have attained. Therefore, I personally, as Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, would like to reiterate our deep thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan for having helped us achieve such concrete measures for the benefit of our brothers in Afghanistan.
Cette conférence qui s'est tenue aujourd'hui, et depuis hier elle a un peu commencé, je pense que nous pensons et les observateurs pensent que c'est la plus grande conférence qui ne s'est jamais tenue de cette façon sur le problème afghan. Parce que ça fait 40 ans que l'OCI, que les pays musulmans se réunissent. Mais cette réunion, cette conférence qui s'est déroulée aujourd'hui, je crois que c'est la plus importante et je crois qu'elle aura des succès palpables dans les jours qui suivent.
As a matter of fact, this conference that has taken place today, and that started actually yesterday, therefore over 2 days, has been one of the greatest events ever. For, as we note, the sufferings of the Afghani people has been ongoing for the last 40 years. And many people agree that this event has been of greatest importance and may give us hope for better future on this ground. And this has been the greatest event ever with regard to the Afghani issue.
L'Organisation de la coopération islamique, dont je suis le secrétaire général, mettra tout en œuvre pour soutenir le peuple afghan. Et je l'ai dit aujourd'hui aussi en tant que secrétaire général, pour qu'on fera tout pour soutenir le peuple afghan et en même temps exprimer toute notre gratitude aux êtres membres qui ont permis à l'organisation de jouer son rôle prépondérant dans la fourniture de l'aide humanitaire et du développement au peuple afghan.
I, as Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, would like to reiterate the importance of this event and reiterate also our gratitude to all the member states that have helped us and reached out to us to achieve this success that will help us in terms of the humanitarian role that we can play.
Je voudrais donc ainsi finir mes propos. Je voudrais remercier tout le monde pour leur patience et leur écoute de ce que je viens de dire. Je vais redonner la parole à Monsieur le ministre et lui dire merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
So once again, I would like, before concluding, I would like to express my satisfaction with this great event and reiterate my profound thanks to His Excellency the Minister for all that he has done to help us.
Thank you, Secretary General Taha, for your remarks. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, let me make just one point before I start giving the floor. Please wait for my signal before you take the floor, and also please try and limit yourself to one question because there is a lot of interest in this room. You please.
Thank you. This is Shabir Bagra from PTV World. My question is with the Secretary General, Excellency, that during today, as you mentioned, that it has been established, it has been decided to establish a trust fund. Any pledges made by the member states that any amount, any specific amount that has been pledged for the fund, number one, and number two, there is, as Prime Minister also said, that there is immediate need for winter-like relief and assistance. Any immediate steps decided during the meeting?
Tout à l'heure, quand j'ai intervenu, c'est pour dire que c'est suite à cette conférence qui s'est tenue aujourd'hui qu'on verra des dons qui vont venir. On n'a pas encore établi des relations avec l'Afghanistan. C'est sûr qu'on n'a pas encore établi des relations, mais on est en train de penser à comment pouvoir faire. Par exemple, le secrétaire général de l'OCI pourra, dès qu'on commencera, à envoyer notre envoyé spécial qui va là-bas pour voir un peu la situation, voir comment ça peut se discuter. Donc pour le moment, on en parle, on s'organise rapidement. Je crois les décisions vont être prises, mais pour le moment, on n'a pas de contact direct avec l'Afghanistan. Donc on ne peut pas parler d'une aide qui a été déjà envoyée, à part celle de quelques pays.
So, as a reply, His Excellency the Secretary General is saying that, yes, indeed, we have established this contact, we have established this fund, but we are not yet in contact with the Afghani authorities. We shall do so soon through our envoy, and we shall find out about their needs. That is when we shall start getting donations. We have not yet received any donations, but it's only after this real and direct contact with the authorities in Afghanistan that we shall hopefully start receiving donations for their benefit.
Thank you.
I'd like to clarify that. You see, I'm aware of some countries who wanted to donate and are willing to donate. But they required some kind of a account which was acceptable to all of them. There are many who want to donate but do not want to donate directly. They want to have some mechanism which they are comfortable with. So this mechanism has been devised. This the Islamic Development Bank account, and pledges will now be made into this account, judging the needs that they have. Obviously, they are aware of the importance of time, and I'm sure once this account is operable, the pledges will start coming in.
Thank you. Thank you. Please wait. Do not jump the queue, please.
Well, I can't tell you it'll going to happen tonight, but obviously they are aware of the fact that it is required as ASAP.
Thank you. Mr. Heather.
Thank you, Mr. Foreign Minister. It was indeed a big diplomatic event, but the key focus was to defreeze the frozen financial assets of Afghanistan by the United States. What do you think, and how much hopeful you are and Prime Minister Imran Khan after making these all appeals and speeches? And the U.S. Special Representative was also here. He held also on the sideline meeting with the Afghan Foreign Minister. So that is the most urgent thing that Pakistan has been stressing upon the United States to release Afghan's financial assets. And how much hopeful you are that the misperceptions in the West about Pakistan's role in Afghanistan has been removed now, particularly Washington, who has been centric on Afghanistan about Pakistan's role, think tanks, government, establishment, and everything. Thank you.
Well, I think you can easily Western players today recognize Pakistan's constructive role, whether it was the peace initiative, the peace process, the evacuation, and now the role Pakistan is trying to play in mobilizing public opinion for an humanitarian assistance. Pakistan role has come out very clear, very positively. It is being appreciated, acknowledged, and recognized. If you, well, obviously it was a closed-door session, but from the statement made by Mr. Tom West, who is the special representative of the United States of America, I could deduce that there is a shift. For example, he said that he has a clear mandate from his boss, and who is his boss? His boss is Secretary Blinken, to engage with the Taliban. And he has met the Taliban delegation on the sidelines over here. He has said that, and he said, I want to make a policy statement on behalf of the US, and the policy statement is that we are ready to help alleviate suffering of the Afghan people, right? And they have said that we have come and we have taken a decision that humanitarian assistance will not be made conditional. And also the licensing procedures are being revisited. He also hinted at how the World Bank has provided $280 million. And he also said, and this is quite hopeful, that since international financial institutions were invited and they participated, there is an amount unutilized with the international financial institutions to the tune of $1.2 billion. And now they can find mechanisms of utilizing that.
Thank you. We'll take one from the international press, you, sir, please. The other one.
Thank you, sir. I'm not from international, from Geo Television. I'm Zargun Shah. My question for the foreign minister is, Qureshi साहब ये बताइए कि बार बार ये चीज़ दोहराई गई कि अफ़गानिस्तान का बैंकिंग सिस्टम जो है वो कोलैप्स हुआ है, वो बंद पड़ा है, तो उस बैंकिंग सिस्टम को फाल करने के लिए क्या कुछ किया गया है? थैंक यू वेरी मच.
देखिए, आपने सही कहा कि बहुत से लोगों को ये एहसास भी है और रियलाइजेशन भी है कि जब तक बैंकिंग चैनल्स नहीं बहाल होते तो मदद जो देना भी चाहता है उसकी तरसील में दिक्कत होगी. मिसाल के तौर पर मैंने पहले भी अर्ज़ किया और मैं दोहरा देता हूँ कि बहुत से अफ़गान हैं जो अफ़गानिस्तान से बाहर हैं, मुख्तलिफ मुल्कों में हैं, और उनके अजीज़ व अक़ारिब अफ़गानिस्तान में हैं. वो उनकी दिक्कत से वाकिफ़ हैं, वो उनकी मदद करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो पैसा भेज नहीं सकते बिकॉज ऑफ द लैक ऑफ बैंकिंग सर्विसेज. अब उसके लिए आसानी पैदा करने के लिए बात हुई है और ये हो रहा है, जैसे कहा है ना कि उनकी जो अनलॉक किया जाए उन चैनल्स को जिससे ये बैंकिंग सिस्टम चल सके, तो ये उस पर बात हुई है. और ये भी उनने कहा है कि बहुत से इदारे ऐसे हैं जो हमें एहसास है कि इस वक्त अपने मामलात को कैश के ज़रिए कैश भिजवाते हैं और उसके ज़रिए वो अपना मामला चला रहे हैं. अब हमने आसानी पैदा करने के लिए फ़ैसला किया है कि बहुत से जो प्राइवेट बैंक्स हैं, अफ़गान बैंक्स हैं, तो उनको ओपन अप कर दिया जाए ताकि उनके ज़रिए तरसील मुमकिन हो सके.
Mr. Secretary General, why you people did not discuss about to recognizing the Afghanistan government now? Because did you think to recognizing and helping to the Afghans, it's a big, strong message to the world that it is OIC, Organization of the Islamic Countries, not OIC.
I'll try and respond to that.
अहम तरीन खबरें अब एक क्लिक की दूरी पर. आपके पसंदीदा टॉक शोज हों या अहम मुल्की या गैर मुल्की शख्सियात की न्यूज कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, हर लम्हा बाखबर रहने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल. मौसम की सूरत हाल हो या खेल के मैदान से खबरें, अपने मोबाइल फोन से मुल्की और बैनुल अक़वामी अहम खबरों तक रसाई के लिए डाउनलोड कीजिए मोबाइल ऐप. बावसूख ज़राए से मुसद्दिका खबरों, तज्ज़ियों और तबसरों से मुस्तफ़ीद होने के लिए विजिट कीजिए पाकिस्तान की सबसे बड़ी न्यूज़ वेबसाइट www.arYnews.tv. इन सब के अलावा पाकिस्तान का सबसे बड़ा फेसबुक पेज हो, सबसे बड़ा न्यूज़ इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट या फिर ट्विटर, ARY न्यूज़ पहुंचा रहा है खबरें सबसे पहले आप तक, ताकि आप रहें हर लम्हा बाखबर.